Okay, let's go. How is everybody doing on this fine Christmas Eve? What do we got? It's actually not that bad outside. It's 48 degrees. Of course, it's windy though. And of course, I forgot to turn the heater on in this bedroom. So that's why we got the scarf. Um, we're here. We're here. I'm alive. I'm a couple percent better than yesterday. And what the hell just happened to the internet here? Hold on a second. I guess I knocked the Ethernet cord out of the thing here. Hold on. We should be back here any second now. Looks like I'm still there. Okay. The Wi Fi in this room is sketchy. Stay there. Stop bouncing off the table, Jaws. So, what did we see last night? Well, besides the Panther game we'll talk about, we saw the Leafs beat the Penguins 6-3. The Wings beat the Stars in overtime. Rangers 7, Capitals 3. Sabres beat the Sens in overtime. They continue to do well. We know about what Florida did. Islanders beat the Devils 2-1. The Canadians beat the crap out of Boston 6-2. Preds 3, Wild 2 in overtime. The Avalanche shut out the Mammoth. The Flyers beat the Blackhawks, who just can't win a game without Connor Bedard. Oilers 5, Flames 1. The Golden Knights beat the crap out of San Jose 7-2. And the Kraken beat the Kings 3-2. So, after all is said and done, ladies and gentlemen, the Panthers are in the 8th seed in a playoff spot on Christmas. Well done. Well done. No problems there. Now, if you had told me that in order the standings would be Canadians, Lightning, Panthers, Senators, I would have said, yeah, I'll buy that. I wouldn't have thought the Wings were going to be on top. And we'll see how this whole thing, how the whole situation plays out. It is the strangest thing with the Wings on first place with a negative 2 goal differential, the Canadians second place with a negative 1 goal differential, and then the Lightning in third place with plus 22. So we're in a playoff spot on Christmas. And when you consider all of the injuries we have, it is just a beautiful thing. And we've played a few fewer games in the Wings than Canadians. So there's that. Over in the Metro, Hurricanes, Flyers, Islanders. I don't think anybody was about to pick on that. I don't think anybody thought that was coming. So let's get over to the chat and say hi. Hey, Simon, Merry Christmas Eve. How's everybody doing? Yeah, it's nice to get some time. Yeah, so Matthias is going to be here Saturday and Sunday night. My daughter's going to hang out for a few hours on Saturday. She's got to work Sunday, so she can't spend the night, but that's okay. Hey, Miami Sports. How do I think we're going to do after the break? I'm curious to see how long until we get Chucky back. Are the Kings still the number 1 seed? Yeah. Yeah, they're tied with the Wings in points, but the Canes have 2 games in hand. So they are still the number 1. Like I've been saying, even without Barkov, at this point, the way the Panthers are playing, as long as we get playoff Bobrovsky, I would expect us to win the conference, even without Barkov. And that's not to say that the Lightning wouldn't be a massive pain in the ass. The Canadians, maybe. I think the Lightning would be the team that would give us the hardest time without Barkov. But I mean, I'm just really thrilled with how they've been playing, considering the level of talent that is off of the ice. Hey, Hungry, how you doing, bud? Van Ija, who is that? Who is that? We only see your we see a V and we see your handle, but I just wonder if your name is something that we're more used to seeing. Just congrats, comeback Cats. Calgary melted down. I can't remember the last time someone got booted from the game in the second period. I didn't see it, but I guess Uyghur was it Uyghur got thrown out or something? Real says that the playoffs started today. We'd play the Canes in the first round. No, I don't. We would end up playing. We would be playing the Wings because we would play the team from the Atlantic. Pretty sure that's how it would work. I give up trying to figure it out. We're going to finish second in the division anyway. So, hey, Craig. Yeah, games in hand for the Cats' favor so far. Hey, Bill. How you doing? What a crazy. Just no complaints though, right? Hey, Great White. Why does Bubba always give up the first goal? I think he's trying to do a Spencer Knight impression. Remember, Spencer used to do that all the time. I'm not sure. Hungry says if the playoffs started today, we'd have an easier path to the cup than we've had the last 3 years as an 8 seed. I mean, we'll see how it all finishes out, right? Especially with the trade deadline. You never know what's going to happen. Hey, Adonis. Merry Christmas. Right back at you. Bill says trade Barkey for a 4th pick. The guy is a bum, always sick. He hasn't been doing much. I'd tell you that, Bill. I'm not sure when the last time Barkov scored was, but it's getting a little bit obnoxious. Oh, you made your name up? Okay. All right. Just wasn't sure if you were somebody that we should recognize because YouTube moved everything to everybody's handle, which makes it difficult on people that, only come once in a while. We would play the top team in the conference. We would play the Canes. All right. Well, either way, it's been so long since we had to worry about that. We ain't going to be a wild card anyway. So there's that. You know what I mean? Plus, we still got a game in hand on everybody anyway. We're going to finish second in the division. We're going to finish second. Might win the damn division. I don't know. Yeah, Uyghur banged on the glass to escalate a 2 to a 5. Then he did it again to get the boot. Oh, that's wild. How do they decide to put the Panthers and Rangers in the Winter Classic? I would suspect it was ratings. They wanted to make sure that there was a team that would draw a lot of, bigger hockey market viewers if they were going to put Florida in there. Colby says since Flyers got a real goalie named Vladar, they're doing pretty well. Yeah. Hey, Derek. Silva says last time we played Carolina, it feels like we turned on the gas and won because of that. This time it feels like Carolina just gave up after Mikola's goal. They just stopped. I like I said in last night's recap, they just stopped playing. Like, it's just wild. I just wonder what the hell's going on with that team. I know they didn't have Jarvis and Slavin, but geez. Real says Philly would scare me because they always play us tough and Vladar goalies us every time. Philadelphia does play us tough. But I when I watch us play and we are trying and we have our energy about us, I still have a hard time looking in the Eastern Conference and thinking of a team that's going to beat us 4 out of 7. You know what I mean? Like, if we don't win the third cup, somebody is going to have to be working, to eliminate this team, to get this team actually on the ropes and get to the point where they've eliminated us. That is going to have to be one hell of an effort by another team. Right back at you, Bill. Merry Christmas. Yeah, 8 in the last 10. Oh, yeah, Hungry. That's a good point. That's a good point. Holy crap, what did I see? Trent says, why is Bob so bad on breakaways? I don't know. It's so good in the shootout. That's the other thing, too. Rod is the John Harbaugh of the NHL. Hungry, I haven't been able to check anything, bud. I spent this morning getting a treatment. So I'm going to try to, I've got a bunch of emails and a bunch of things. I'm going to try to get to everything by the end of the weekend. But the treatment, I had a treatment this morning and knocked me on my ass. We'll just put it that way. Wait a minute, hold on a second. What's that? Holy crap. Thank you, Great White. Thank you, man. Holy crap. Thank you, brother. Merry Christmas, Jaws, Donna, Kyle, and Leah. Thank you, my friend. Holy moly. Thank you, bud. Much, much, much appreciated. Thank you, man. Jeez. Right back at you. Yeah, Donna's at work today. So for those of you who do watch, we're not going to do an inappropriate conversations tonight. I'm just not quite up to it. But Friday, since I don't have anything else on Friday, we're going to do it Friday night. She's only got to work a few hours, and that give me a couple more days to get a couple more treatments in and start feeling a little bit better. So we're probably just watching a movie with Kyle for Christmas Eve tonight. But then Friday night, we're going to do an inappropriate conversations over on the men's channel. Yeah, that's a good point. Harbaugh did win a championship, right? Trent says, do I think Buffalo or Toronto sneaking? I don't know. If I look at the standings right now, God, it's so crazy. In the Metro, it's so hard. Because how are the Devils? The Devils should be up there. So I can eliminate a few teams that I don't think are going to make it. I don't think the Jackets make it. I don't think the Penguins make it. And I don't think the Rangers make it. And over in the Atlantic, I don't think Buffalo makes it. And I'm having a hard time just completely discounting the possibility of the Leafs going on a run. It's tough. Boston has kind of slipped a little bit. And that's kind of what they did last year, was start off hot and then start slipping. The Sabres have won 7 straight. It's just wild. They're only 2 points out of a playoff spot. But if I had to pick 4 right now, Montreal, Tampa, Florida, the Canes, Flyers, Capitals, and then can the Islanders hold on to a spot? Can the Devils hold on to a spot? Ottawa, right? And then you got Detroit up there. There's going to be some good teams that don't make it. There's just no way around it. There's going to be some good teams that don't make it, for sure. Yeah, Hungry, I appreciate it, bud. Mike says, can I be your friend, Great White? Yeah, I got a lot I got to get to. Like Colby, I'm trying to get to your stuff too. I just every time I sit down, honestly, and start working on something, I fall asleep. I fell asleep editing the recap again last night. I keep doing it because what happens is when I'm editing the audio, it'll take 45 seconds to a minute for whatever clip that I'm producing for the file to produce when I'm editing the audio. And so I have to sit there and watch it produce and make sure that I don't end it too soon. And I keep just watching it and one of the games before, I think the game we lost, Donna was like, hey, because I guess I sat there, I got my hands on the laptop, and I started snoring in the middle of editing the recap. That's true. She's like, "Hey, are you snoring?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm okay." Colby says some Canes fans say this shit has been going on for weeks where they look uninspired for Rod. I was kind of starting to wonder about that, Colby. Like something don't look right over there. Yeah, something could be festering. Yeah. Well, apparently Chucky is supposed to start practicing with the team after the Christmas break. So it sure looks like the attempt is going to be the Winter Classic for him to come back. Hopefully it's not too soon, but they've always said late December-ish, early January. So it sounds like that's the goal. Real says the Devils fall apart without Jack Hughes. Right. Yeah, that's true. Mike says, I know it's festering in Raleigh. It's a nervous tick of all the Florida teams. Trent, you think Toronto will get in? I mean, it wouldn't shock me. I wonder what they'll do as they approach the trade deadline, though. Which way is the wind going to blow there? Capitals have been slipping a bit, right? Do I think we're going to win the division? I don't know. Second place seems more likely to me because with the way that these guys have played a lot of hockey, I kind of feel like something similar to last year would happen, where once we get into a secure spot where it's like 2 and 3, I don't know if we're going to exert extra energy to try to win the division. I think 2 is more likely. But don't ask me who I think is going to win the division. I kind of think Tampa's still going to win the division. I'd be surprised if Detroit can hang on the whole season. Van says, I don't see an Eastern team beating a healthy Florida. The West has some tough nuts, though. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it. It's like we need to be healthy to win if we're going to win 3 straight. I honestly feel like we could win the conference without Barkov, but I don't know about the cup again. Wouldn't that be something if he comes back just for the Stanley Cup final? But then that would kind of be like who's getting kicked off the ice. You know what I mean? It's a little tricky. Vincent says Sam Miskevich was held out of the game for the purpose of the trade post-Christmas break. Boo! Boo! Boo, boo, boo. Boo. John says the Panthers scored again at 6-2. I almost, it's funny. I was watching during my treatment, I was watching the highlights from last night that the Panthers put out. And after we got to the 5th goal, they kept showing highlights of shots that were almost the 6th goal. And I was like, because my brain is so foggy, I'm like, did I forget a goal? Are they getting ready to show a 6th goal? But then they finished the highlights off and it was 5-2. But they made me wonder about it because usually they show the last goal and then they'll show, the last couple of seconds. The guys over at Cats and Rats think Samuel might get traded. He ain't going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. That would be, let's put it this way. I'll be on the record now saying that would be stupid to trade him because you just got to stop getting rid of your young talent. And generally speaking, from the things that I know about Cats and Rats, which isn't a lot, but we tend to disagree significantly on a lot of things. I don't see any reason why we would do that. To me, that would be you can't have Rodriguez on the ice because of the cap if the team is healthy. You have to have Sam Miskevich out there. Mike says, I don't think Florida cares about what spot they get into the playoffs. Yeah, exactly. Trade Samo and get who? Right. I just don't. mean, I'm never going to sit here and say nothing can never happen, but I'll be on the record. I mean, unless you're talking about it's going to be like Brady Kachuk coming back, which we don't have the money for. We don't have the money for anybody that it would be worth it to trade Samoskevich for. So now you'd have to send money back out the other way too. You know what I mean? Unless you're going to, unless Barkov's not coming back, which I don't even want to have that discussion anyway. Silva says Leafs are going through their own 23 Panthers experience right now. I don't know. I can't count them out just yet. One of those goalies is going to have to take the reins, to be honest with you, Silva. If the Leafs are going to get in, one of those goalies is going to have to lead the way. Trent says, "Do I think the fourth line we have now is good enough to win a round in the playoffs?" Yeah, probably. Cunningham has been decent, right? You got to have Gadjevich and Greer. Like Gregor's been good. Okay. Cunningham's been decent. Studs, you start to get when all three guys are like, oh, okay, like you need Gadjevich and Greer out there. We'll see what Nosek is able to bring when he comes back from injury, though. Vincent says things happen while I'm snoring. It's very true. Hey, Frank. He says it's going to be in the 50s on Winter Classic Day. Oh, that's nice. That's good. Hey, Terrace. I wrote that. The Let's Go Panthers intro song. That's me. I did that. I do not have it on Spotify. That's the truth. I never thought of it. Now I wrote that by accident. Well, on purpose by accident. On purpose. I don't know how I did it. I found the beat maker online and I made the beat, but it wasn't good enough. So I reversed it and put an echo in, I think. And then when I played it back, it was the sound, it was the beat that you hear, and I just pressed save. I don't know what site, I don't know what I did. I have the original file on my computer. That's the only way I can prove it. But I don't think I could do it again. Because the higher pitched sound that you hear, that's not the regular drums. It's all it is I changed the pitch of the original drums and then I put it in reverse. I don't know what I did. To be honest, what I did was I hit some hotkeys or something by accident, and that's what it made. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. Just talking 8 years ago. I don't remember what I had for breakfast. Frank says, yeah, trade Samoskevich for McDavid. Great White says, Josh, you teased us with Kyle was doing inappropriate conversations. You stayed up all night waiting for it. Poor Kyle. Mackie says, Craig says, Mackie has two things in favor, cheap and young. Real says, yeah, we're not trading Spencer Knight either. Well, it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? We had room to do that with Jones. I mean, I was still surprised that they did it, but we had room to do it. Now, if they were going to throw Mackie away to go get somebody to replace Barkov because he's not going to be back, I mean, I don't know. I don't like it. Let's just put it that way. Unless I would be upset. We'll just leave it at that. Bolvar says, today has proven one thing. I feel like garbage. I have no energy, but at least Vegas won 7-2. There you go, Bolvar. Hope you feel better. I feel you. Miss Crab says, no, don't trade Samoskevich. Keep our young guys. To me, you got to keep them. especially we've kind of been given a little bit of a gift in the sense with the Barkov injury, is that theoretically, salary-wise, if we wanted to keep Rodriguez going into next year, you could just make Rodriguez 4C next year and still have room for Samoskevich on the roster. So, I mean, the only reason I would think he would get moved is if Zito knows Barkov's not coming back and they feel they owe it to the guys to go trade for somebody to fill in that space, but then still where? You still got Lundell, Bennett, like even without Samoskevich, if Barkov doesn't come back, Lundell, Luosterainen, Marchand, Bennett, Kachuk, Verhaeghe, Rodriguez, right? And now if you don't have Samoskevich, I guess at that point, you still got Marchand and Reinhart, right? So it's like, who are you moving? I don't know. Kazuma says, so if Barkov were to come back, what one player would I be willing to trade if no choice? I mean, Bolquist. If I had no choice, that would be the one player. Kraft says Rodriguez showing up doesn't want to get traded. I agree. And that's what Silva is the biggest thing for me. So it'd be stupid to get rid of Samuel. He took a pay cut to stay with the franchise. As a rookie with his amount of career earning, that hurts. He wants to be a cat through and through. No disagreement there at all, Silva. Hunger says trading Samoskevich is too high a risk. He has a decently high ceiling. Vincent says looking at Jones, Ekblad being a hockey player makes no sense at all. Different class of player. I don't know. I like them both now. Ekblad's been, knock on wood, he's been good. Real says if it's against the Canes in the first round, then yes, the fourth line is good enough. Hey, JC, how you doing, bud? Van says, I always thought it was better to save your energy in the season and take third or a wild card so you can take out a top competitor who underestimates you in the first round. Yeah, but I don't think we're sneaking up on anybody at this point. That's part of the thing at this point for the Panthers. You know, I think second, it'd be nice to have home ice at least in one round. Silva says, I love Nosek, but I want him and Schwint to split games down the stretch. Well, we got to see what Nosek has, right? I mean, that was a hell of an injury he's coming back from. Yeah, exactly, Olechka. Special team. Yep. Greg says, hit the big time and then Let's Go Panthers becomes the goal song. Oh boy. That would be something. Mike says, I think the teams that put credence in getting home ice advantage in the playoffs don't have enough confidence in their ability to win on the road, or at least concerned about it. And we saw that with Florida last year at the end of the season. They started resting guys when they could have still made a run for the division. And they're like, we want to rest our guys. Hey, Jason Tipsy, how you doing, bud? Big fat 2 points last night. That's the truth. Mr. Krabs says Tarasov is still a concern. We need to develop a backup. Well, if we could keep one, I still like Tarasov. He hasn't had. Let's cut him a little bit of slack because the last 2 games haven't been great. But we keep throwing him out there on the second end of the back-to-backs, and the team's just had nothing in front of him at all. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like Tarasov has just been thrown out there, sacrificed that way. I would still like to see him developed and kept if we can. 50s in Miami. Great way. I know. I don't know what's the weather supposed to be. Oh, but that's so far away, right? Like what's it saying? I mean, it's not so bad now. What is it, 75? 75. I'd take 75 right now. Yeah, exactly, Mike. Mike says, as far as trading Samo goes and Zito, I trust. Oh, I mean, I just can't. It's hard for me to envision why we would do it. You know what I mean? That for me is the hardest part. It's like Lundell, Lusterine, Marchand, no. Bennett, Kachuk, Reinhardt, no. Right? Then you still got Rodriguez for Hagee. I don't know. And if Barkov comes back, that's it. Your top 9 is filled out. What are you going to do? Trade Samoskevich for a 4C? Like, it don't make any sense. Hey, Steven. Trent says, I think Jones has been our best defenseman this year. I like the way he's played. Yeah, I really do. Miss Krabs says, you got to take into fact that we have a bunch of players who were not on the team the last 2 years, so they aren't fatigued. And that's part of the reason why I want to keep Samo as well. I mean, I understand, right, that, I mean, and he's assist-wise, I think he's been playing great. The puck's not going in the back of the net. Trade Petrie? I don't know. You still can only afford to get another. I mean, you might be able to upgrade over him, but you need depth in the playoffs. That's the thing. You know what I mean? You don't want to start trading away guys for specific upgrades at specific positions, because we've kind of seen, you need depth. Hey, scientist. Thank you, bud. Merry Christmas to you as well. Bulwer says, hey, man, if the Panthers want to trade Vegas their leftovers again, I wouldn't be opposed. No, we already helped you out, man. We already helped you out as much as we are going to help you out. Hell no. Hell no. But now don't forget, hold on a second. Verhaeghe was on that Tampa winning team, right? Cup winning team. Tampa drafted him. No, actually, Verhaeghe was drafted by Toronto in the 3rd round. So I'm not sure how he ended up winning that cup with Tampa the first year. But they didn't have room for him. He had 9 goals. He played 52 games. And did he play in the playoffs with Tampa that first year? So he played 8 games with Tampa that first year, had no goals and 2 assists, and was a -1, playing 10 minutes a night. So there wasn't a big, wasn't what it's very interesting how that's what Samoskevich played. 2 games, 3 games. I think he played 3 in the playoffs last year. Science says, was last night more the Panthers turning it on or the Canes falling apart? Both. Literally both. Like, we turned it on, and as soon as we turned it on, they quit. Like, instead of being like, oh, hell no, we're not going to let you do this again, they were like, ah, shit, they're trying. Okay, we quit. It was crazy to see. Mike says, if we choose to keep Samo at 3, a bridge deal, Greer at 1.5, Bob at 5, and Tarasov at 2, we'll lose Bohlquist, Nosek, Balinskis. We'll have approximately $7 million to spend on a big ad on defense or offense. Samo at 3 seems right. Greer at $1.50. That can even out Bohlquist $1.50. Bob at 5 and Tarasov at 2. Right. We'll have $7 million to spend on. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I don't know where they're gonna play. That's the only thing. Like I don't know where they would play. Because if we do that, and I'm not advocating against it, but this is what I've kind of been talking about, where how the cap goes up and we're in such good shape. Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Kachuk, Samoskevich, Lundell, Lusterine, and Marchand. You got Greer on the one side, Gadjevich on the other. I don't think I've said Rodriguez yet, right? And Rodriguez still has one more year on his deal. So, I mean, I guess you could put him at 4C. But your point is exactly right, Mike. It's like we have the ability to keep the thing together. And Bob's number, to me, has always been the key. You know what I mean? How much Bobrovsky's going to want in his extension. Kraz says, people forget we brought in Seth Jones to replace Brandon Montour. Yeah, that's true. It's 80 in Clearwater right now. Jeez. Real says, everyone gets destroyed by the Avs. Luckily, the last wild card spot in the West will take them out when it matters. Well, if they win the President's Trophy, that's for sure. Yeah, the Jets went from President's Trophy to the worst team. Remember the year before when we beat the Rangers? They were the President's Trophy team. Not that they were the worst last year, but it happens. Yeah, Zito will have approximately $7 million to spend on either depth or big name ad on defense or offense for the 26th season. Yeah, it's just a matter of where they would play. You know what I mean? JC says, got my hot tent ready for the trip. Going to stay out in the wilderness with the dog and the missus for the next 4 days. No running water. Going to see the big Texas stars at Big Bend in the Canyon. Damn, JC, have a good time, man. Merry Christmas. That sounds like fun. Great White says, no way. Winter Classic is going to be in the 50s. You're taking a Starlink. Oh, very cool. Very cool, JC. No, I think it's this. I think Talk to Text got you, Mike, on the outdoor game. It's the 2nd of January. But yeah, if you're looking at, I mean, we're supposed to get a big dip in temperature here about that time, like to where we're only going to be in the upper 30s during the day. So it's possible that there's a front coming through about that time. Trent says, I think if everyone comes back, this team can be even deeper than last year. What's that, Hungry? Oh, yeah, no, I don't even know who that is anyway. That I don't even know. Mr. Krabs, I would assume so, because he played 52 games with them. So yeah, I'm sure his name's on that cup. Van says Toronto is great at losing great players. Yeah, they took him in the 3rd round. I wonder how long. I wonder how they lost them. Hungry says favorite chirp I saw from last night is we only need to play 7 minutes to embarrass the Canes. That was just the craziest 3rd period we've seen in a while that way, man. Do we have a 3rd string backup goalie that can play right now? No, great. Well, not really. That was supposed to be Bussy. Oh, geez, there goes my internet again. It's weird. The Ethernet cord keeps coming out. I'll leave that over there. So no, I'm not sure. But anybody we pick up, we would have to immediately send them to the AHL. Kraft says the Avs need to start dropping games. They don't want the President's Trophy. I don't know who would get it. I mean, where are they? They're 61 points. Oh, forget it. They're 27-2-7. Like, the only team that's even going to come close to sniffing them are the Stars And if you're the Stars, why would you kill yourself to win the division? You know what I mean? I mean, unless you really are worried about a game 7 at Colorado, like they're comfy, nice and tidy there at the number 2 spot. I can't imagine anybody else is going to get close to them. The President's Trophy team almost always doesn't win. Mike says, I think Zito needs to be proactive and try to pry a younger player from a struggling team, like in the 23 to 26 age range, kind of like trading for Tkachuk 25 year, but it's tough but possible. Yeah, I mean, don't necessarily disagree, but they kept all these guys together for a reason. You know what I mean? Now Luosterainen's going to need a deal at some point. So, but the cap is supposed to keep going up. But I think Luosterainen is the only one left that would be considered in the core that doesn't have a deal, and hopefully that gets taken care of. Mid-70s during the day for Winter Classic. I mean, that seems reasonable. I don't know Syria or Ben-Hur, a movie. I mean, I know there's a movie that's named Ben-Hur, but I haven't watched any of that stuff. That's not the kind of stuff I watch. When I was a kid, the movies I was watching was The Evil Dead and The Exorcist and The Amityville Horror and Rosemary's Baby, all that stuff. The stuff like Ben-Hur and all of that. I turn it on for 10 minutes and I'm like, it didn't interest me. Gray White says, I thought Cooper Black was next in line. Oh, he is. He's just not ready yet. He's not. We need an NHL experienced third goalie that I would assume at some point will pick up and stash there in Charlotte. What was my favorite goal moment from last night, Simon? I like the 5th goal, the Jones goal, because there was just so much open space there. That put the exclamation point on the whole thing. Kraft says, last time the team won the President's Trophy and the Stanley Cup in the same season was the 12-13 Chicago Blackhawks. Yikes. Marchment already got traded, though. Not sure how much gas Marchment has in the tank right now. I don't think he's how old is he? He's 30. He's still young. Yeah, I mean, if you were going to get him, as a 4th liner, that's wild. So with Seattle, I'm just looking at Marchment. With Seattle, he had 4 goals in 29 games. With Columbus, he has 3 goals in 2 games. He's got 3 goals in 2 games with Columbus. I mean, they paid a 2nd and a 4th for him, so I think they brought him in to help possibly get them to the playoffs at some point. Hungy says there's a famous scene in the middle of the movie with thousands of soldiers charging on horses across the desert. Imagine that, but with Toyota pickups. That's what's happening now over there. Good Lord. Yeah, exactly, Mike. What could go wrong? I was hoping that the 8th seed was going to be Chicago or the Sharks, but it doesn't look like that's what's going to happen in the West. Blackhawks, the toast without Bedard. The Sharks have fallen off. So now you're looking at the same old likes of the Kings. Maybe the Mammoth, right? I mean, there's a big disparity between the top teams and the bottom teams in the West. And there's going to be one, the 8th seed in the West is going to be, not fantastic. I think Marchman, I don't know if he's on the last, is he on the last year of his deal? Yeah, he's in the final year of his deal. I mean, if we brought him in to be on the 4th line, but don't forget, we extended Gadjevich as well. You know what I mean? Mike says 12-13 is an outlier because it was a shortened and unusual scenario like COVID. That's right. That's right. Mike says, I think the only team that truly has home ice advantage in the playoffs for any time is Colorado because of the altitude. Smells like Kyle's making pizza out there. The Ducks could make it in the West. Yeah, but I don't think they'll be the 8th seed. The Ducks will be one of the top 3, in my opinion. So right now you've got the Mammoth at 39 points and the Kings at 39 points as the 7 and the 8 seed. And then below them, it's like the Sharks, Kraken, Flames, Canucks. I don't think so. The Preds, Blues, Jets, Blackhawks. I mean, the Preds have won 3 straight. The fact that they're even in that conversation, I suppose it's possible, but not likely. Vanny played well versus the Avs, gives up 1 goal and versus, yeah. Yeah, anybody that's only allowed 1 goal to the Avs is solid. So, yeah, looking at the West, I mean, the bigger question is going to be, I mean, if it holds right now, well, geez, the Pacific 44, 44, and 44. But the Knights have 3 games in hand. Vegas will probably win that division because they care about their home ice. So if it's Ducks versus Oilers, wouldn't shock me to see the Ducks be the team that takes the Oilers out. Knights versus Kings, the Knights are going to win that one. I kind of look at it and I kind of feel like it's going to be a Knights Avalanche. Western Conference Final, maybe the Stars. Wild, I doubt it. But, because right now Colorado would be going up against Utah. I don't know about that. No, that's a good point. Home ice, Van says home ice can make a difference. Ice quality can vary depending on the climate. That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, if the Panthers travel anywhere and the ice is good, that's better for us, honestly. Gray Weiss says, Jaws, is Zito planning for a starting goalie when Bob leaves in a year or two? Who would I pick? I honestly, I'm not sure. It depends on how many more years Bobrovsky. I'm under the assumption, based on nothing but what I think, that Bobrovsky is at least going to sign for 2 more years. 3 seems like pushing it, but I would think that we're probably going to get a 2-year extension. By that point in time, Cooper Black is either going to be ready or he's not. And we got the other kid, the Russian kid, who's in the AHL, and he may be a possible option. But most likely what you're going to be looking at, barring Cooper Black coming in and developing at a rapid pace, I kind of feel like the plan at that point could involve an upper echelon free agent goalie, because at that point you're talking about being in the last few years of the team's cup window of Barkov and Tkachuk and all of that. So let's say Bob does this year and 2 more years. By the time Bob's done, the core is, anywhere between age 29 to 32-ish. And I don't think you're going to throw that core out there with a goalie that's anything less than what you would think could win a Stanley Cup. That's my assumption because of the way Zito has run things before. So it's possible that whoever is going to take over for Bobrovsky may not even be on the roster at this point. Remember, Zito didn't have anything to do with Bobrovsky and Spencer Knight being acquired at the same time. Knight was obviously ready, and had we kept him, I think you would have eventually saw a Bobrovsky-Knight switch, a split and then a switch at some point. But since that didn't happen, we'll see. And if Bob decides to play 3 more years, then you may get to a point where the window on this team is really closing. And then we'll see, if Tarasov continues to play well and develop. It's all also got a lot to do with how a goalie plays in the system that you're in. And so far, it looks like Tarasov is going to do pretty well. He's got to work on his rebound control a little bit. But remember, that's the problem that Stolarz had when he got here, was his rebound control. And then as things moved on, he improved. So it's possible that Bobrovsky's replacement's just not even on the roster yet. Mike says, Tkachuk says he's looking forward to getting back on the ice with the team and taking a hit from Mikkola. Leave him alone, Mikko. We don't want him getting hurt. He wants to hit people and wants to get hit. That's wild. Damn it, Chucky. Yeah, Mike says Colorado completely restructured their goaltending situation mid-season. Don't stress, y'all. Just enjoy it. Exactly. And let's not forget the Vegas won with Aiden Hill. Colorado won with Darcy Kemper. Like, if your team is good, you don't have to have prime Andrei Vasilevsky or Sergei Bobrovsky at goal if your team is good enough. Because, if we went out right now and got Hill or Kemper, is anyone going to be like, woohoo, it's a guaranteed cup win? No. So, yeah, who knows at this point. By the time Bobrovsky retires, we might have also traded Cooper Black for some kind of assets. It's just never know. Craig says Utah matches up well against the Avs, only a little over 1,000 feet of elevation. Utah, yeah, that's true. Utah did hold them to 1 or to 10 or 1-0. Yeah, it was 1-0. What am I thinking? My brain. Sure thing, Great White. All right, Mr. Krabs. Yeah, we're getting close. I'm running out of. I had one of my first treatments earlier today. I'm good. I got to go to the grocery store. I got to get some food. That should be fun. The grocery store on Christmas Eve. Although it's not that bad around here. Obviously, the population of the county is only 19,000 people. So when things are crowded, it's like there's 2 people in line. You know what I mean? Mike says Utah wouldn't stand a chance versus the Avs unless they have a fully healthy squad. Cooley needs to get healthy. I don't think anybody that's not healthy. Even the Panthers, I don't know without Barkov. I don't think so. You know what I mean? You've got to have Barkov out there. Some semblance. And I don't necessarily know that if Barkov isn't completely 100%, I'm not going to sit here and say you're going to guarantee that you're going to put Barkov out there against McKinnon if that situation was to present. But if you could get Lundell to, as best he could, neutralize McKinnon, you would then end up with a massive advantage wherever wherever he was slotted up. Because, he's only every once in a while. Like, who was the guy? Adrian Peterson, right? He came back and he looked like better than his old self when he came back. But rarely is a guy going to come back from that injury in that first season and look 100% like himself. Like Barkov, especially all that work that he does, Mike says, Saravalli says he thinks Barkov won't be close to being ready to play playoff hockey even when he's healthy enough to come back. Yeah, I saw Saravalli say that. He's my least favorite of the guys. I watched that when he said that with George. I'm not a huge Saravalli fan. Like, if he's reporting actual news, okay, he's reporting news. But I kind of trust the guys that have been around Barkov, and I know a lot of people are saying, don't count him out that way. So we'll see. Like, we'll see. I'm not a huge Saravalli fan. We'll leave it at that. All right, everybody. I got to roll before I pass out here. This was it for me. Thank you all very much. Much appreciated. Thank you for the super chat. Great White. I love you, brother. And everybody have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate. If you don't celebrate, well, celebrate something, damn it. That's all I can say to you. Tomorrow is nothing. There won't be a noon stream tomorrow. I am taking a day off. I know I haven't had a day completely off and I think since the season started, which is okay. It's the season. I shouldn't have too many days off, but tomorrow I won't be around at all. And then Friday we'll come back with a noon stream on Friday. And over on the men's channel, Don and I will do an inappropriate conversations on Friday. And then we've got hockey and football and everything else coming back up. So everybody enjoy yourselves. Be safe. And hey, I'll say this. Don't pick a fight with any, no politics. All right? It ain't worth it. I know you're going to see your family, and I know you got that crazy uncle. We all got the crazy uncle. My dad is as right-wing conservative as you can get. And my uncle is as left-wing liberal as you can get. And those two sons of bitches, it's like they live to just get each other going. And it just doesn't matter what the subject is. They will find a way to poke at each other about it. It's unbelievable. It's like watching the comment section of a YouTube video in real life. If you've ever seen the comment section where you're like, why is the guy making it about politics? That's my uncle and my dad. It's so everybody just be cool, right? Just let people believe what they're going to believe. Doesn't matter anyway. You know what I mean? The only thing that matters is if you're healthy and how many dogs do you have and did your hockey team win the cup? That's about it. Yep. All right, everybody. Merry Christmas. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a drink for me, and I will see you all on Friday.